Hello guys, and today I want to make a deck profile about my Danger Lunalight deck without ORCUST, mind you, very important. I feel that ORCUST is extremely overrated in Lunalights, but I will talk about this later. I got second place in a regional here in Brazil. I essentially threw the first place because I made a misplay. I forgot to return Reduce to the field during the end phase, and this cost me a lot, so I lost the finals because of that misplay. But we learn, so next time I won't do the same misplay, and hopefully I will be able to win, because I really want to win this regional. I already won my previous regional, I won, and I would like to win 2 in a row. It would be nice, but I'm still happy. I got this playmat, this very beautiful playmat about a very good boss monster, which I played in this deck, and it's one of the main cards in this deck. I will talk about this later. At least going first, it's one of the main cards, and also this deck box, but mainly this playmat. Other important things to say here is that it was very weird. I won against Cyberdragon. The Cyberdragon guy got first place, but I got second place because I lost in the finals to a Salamangreat guy, which got 50th place. But the Salamangreat guy lost to Cyberdragon, so it was a very weird thing. And there were 5 people that were X1. It was incredibly weird. But I still got the second place, and I'm very happy because I have been playing Thunder Dragons for the longest time, and most people would say that, oh, just play Thunder Dragons if you're going to a regional. And I will disagree with you. I like Thunder Dragons, but I'm not very pleased with the state of the deck currently, so I'm very happy that I was able to perform so well using this deck to prove people wrong that you don't need the ORCUST. ORCUST monsters are absolutely garbage in this deck. They make better turn 1 fields, but you're sacrificing some of the best things on Lunalights, which is the OTK, which is very powerful, which is the resilience, because you're very reliant on resolving Mermaid in ORCUST builds, and so you're making your deck more fragile, and you're also playing more Garnets, because every single ORCUST card is a Garnet. Let's be honest, you don't want to draw ORCUST cards in your ORCUST deck. It's very similar to Shadows in concept. You want to see Shadow Fusion, but you don't want to see Shadow Falco in your hand. It's garbage. You don't want to set Falco Pass. You want to fuse from deck and then get the pluses. And it's a similar case with ORCUST monsters, I feel. So I felt that the ORCUST version wasn't giving anything relevant for improving the deck whatsoever. I just feel that ORCUST are extremely overrated in this deck. I just prefer going second, OTKing, playing a very resilient deck, punishing hand traps, punishing helmet decks. And the main reason to play this deck is 3 Kaleido Chick and 3 Tiger. Those cards are so good, they help you punishing the opponent so hard, they help you playing through so many disruptions. And overall, you just want to punish decks that normal summon guy, get a +5 and then pass with 4 hand traps in hand. Decks that are completely helmet and degenerative like Salamangreats. And sure, Salamangreats got hit by the menace. Sure, I don't like Salamangreat, I'm kinda biased against Salamangreat, but a lot of people are biased towards Salamangreat because it's a cheap deck and it is the only deck they can afford. So they think that a deck that main decks 12 hand traps and normal summon guy get a +5, for some reason, this is the definition of fair and balance. And they cry because combo decks are too unfair, while they have a deck like this in the game. It makes no sense. I'm not against Nibiru existing, but I don't understand why Konami didn't give us a hand trap that also punished the other end of the spectrum. Because sure, combo decks that do unbreakable boards, they aren't the most fair thing in the game. But as much as I liked combo decks, this isn't fair, let's be honest. But the same end of the spectrum, decks that normal summon guy get a +5 and then pass with 12 hand traps, and those hand traps are the main win condition of the deck. Because a lot of decks nowadays their main win condition is hand traps. Look at Salamangreats, look at Pure Invoked, look at what else? Sky Strikers, look at Trickstars. A lot of those decks, their main win condition is hand traps. And I don't understand why combo decks getting 5 negates is considered degenerative, but those decks that get a +5 and pass with 4 hand traps and essentially stun you for the rest of the game is considered fair. When you're playing hand traps, your deck should be less consistent. Your deck should be punished. And this is something that this archetype does, and does very well, because I absolutely hate when when I'm facing those types of decks. I would rather play against decks that play real disruptions, cards like, I don't know, Bottomless Trap or Torrential Tribute, Solemn Judgment. Real cards for real men. Just play a manly deck. Sure, we are playing a deck with female furries, but even this is manlier than Salamangreat stats for sure, because at the very least this deck plays the game. It doesn't try to stun you with 12 hand traps in the main deck, 12, 15 hand traps. The more hand traps, the better. I don't think those decks are the definition of fair, but for some reason a lot of people think they are, and we just want to punish those types of decks, alright? So, 2 Yellow Marten, very good. You always want to have one in your deck if they banish one for some reason. I don't know if they did Crow, Yellow Marten. It's important to have the second one in your deck, and also has a very good effect when sent to the graveyard by a card effect. Emerald Bird, decent normal summon, and also has a very good effect when sent to the graveyard by a card effect. That it revives a Lunalight monster into banish or graveyard, so that's also very good. A lot of very important for a lot of combos. 1 Wolf, essentially a Miracle Fusion, and 1 Ship. We want to mill Wolf using Kaleido Check and then recover with Ship, essentially bypassing the summoning condition of Leo Dancer. For Danger Monsters, we are playing 2 Nessie, 2 Jackalope, 2 Tsuchinoko, 2 Mothman, 1 Bigfoot and 1 Thunderbird. Originally I was playing 3 Mothman, but I wanted the versatility, so I cut 1 Mothman to play Thunderbird to have more versatility playing through set cards. Danger Monsters, they have an insane synergy with this deck, more than any other deck in the game, I feel, because every single card in this deck, almost every single card, has immediate value when sent to the graveyard. It's so incredible, it's so good. They are dark monsters, they help you playing through disruption, they help you playing through... No one is going to negate a danger monster, that's my point. And they help you go in second, they are so incredible. I really think that danger monsters have more synergy with this deck than another deck. Sure, there were other decks that played danger in the past that have more tops than Lunalights. But when you think about it, the synergy with danger monsters and Lunalights is higher than any other deck in the game, because those cards give you immediate value when discarding Lunalight cards. Compare this to discarding, I don't know, Thunder Dragon Roar. Sure, you want to discard Thunder Dragon Roar, but it doesn't give you immediate plus when sent to the graveyard. You still need other cards. So, this is one of the main advantages of playing danger monsters in Lunalights. Pancatrops, very very good going second, and Dark Command Dragon, I love Dark Command Dragon. When I have the opportunity to play Dark Command Dragon, I play it. And I don't understand why going second versions of this deck of Lunalights don't play Dark Command Dragon more often. I never saw a person playing this. You have such a good graveyard management with Dangers, with Kaleido Check, with Tiger. It's so easy to get or take dark monsters into your graveyard. So most likely Dark Command Dragon is always live, and this card is absolutely insane. Sure, Pancatrops is somewhat better sometimes, because Pancatrops destroys only 1 card, but it's more resilient because it tributes as a cost, so it dodges more things, it dodges skill drain and cards I like. But Dark Command Dragon is a blowout. So those cards are very very good going second. 1 Zephyros Elite, extremely important going first, mainly because I took some inspirations on the ORCUST build, and one of those inspirations was playing ORCUST Nightmare. This is the only ORCUST monster I'm playing in this deck. I'm not playing any other ORCUST monster in the deck, because the main idea is to search Zephyros Elite with Force Tricks, and then discard Zephyros using Mermaid, going first. And Zephyros will give you 2 extra bodies because it's going to bounce Tiger, special summon itself, and then activate Tiger, revive another monster. Mermaid is going to summon ORCUST Nightmare from the deck, so you get a lot of bodies to summon Apollousa, and that's very, very important, and mostly to send Zephyros Elite. And I also was playing one Battleship. I kinda regret playing those 2 specific targets for Mermaid. I don't regret playing a target for Mermaid. It's good to have Mermaid to consistently discard Zephyros during turn 1, because during turn 1 you have less cards in hand, you have less ways to discard cards because Nightmare Phoenix isn't live. You have less ways to send cards to the graveyard, things like Perfume to the graveyard. So going first, it's somewhat harder to send Zephyros to the graveyard, and sending Zephyros to the graveyard is very important to summon Apollousa. So I opted to play ORCUST Nightmare and Battleship because I thought that Battleship was a decent target to get extra bodies on the field, but I never activate the effect of this card, not once. I was so disappointed with this card. Overall, I shouldn't have just played Nightmare Destructor Idly, because that card is pretty decent going second, but most likely you will just side that card out, as I did with those 2 cards every single game that I knew I was going second. And I don't want to repeat myself, but the main idea of the Nightmare target was to simply send Zephyros to the graveyard, which is very important. Going first, going second, this isn't that important. So going second, I always side those 2 cards. I really recommend you siding those cards because you're just playing them when going first. Overall, I really very, very like this engine. It's so good. It discards as a cost. Mermaid discards as a cost. It's so easy to bait hand traps. People get so scared when they see Mermaid. They shit their pants. It's absolutely hilarious. I saw so many people scared when I dropped this card on the board, and then it didn't perform the ORCUST combo whatsoever, but it was funny to see the reaction on people's face. But overall, I would just rather play Idly. For consistency, for spells, 3 tanky, 3 Foolish Burial Goods to send the good Lunalight card to the graveyard, have graveyard effects. Foolish Burial Goods is very good when you open it, but it's way better when you open Perfume instead, because Perfume is insane. This card has an insane graveyard effect that essentially searches any Lunalight monster, but mostly when you open this, I want to say that you win every game, but I don't have a percentage to show to you. But I feel that when you open these, most likely you're going to win, because this card is insane. It's already insane when you send it to the graveyard with Foolish Burial Goods, which is a -1. When you open this, you win. It's such a crazy card, so powerful, so insane. It's one of the best Lunalight cards ever created, even though it's not a Lunalight card in Foolish Burial Goods to send Yellow Marten, trigger its effect. Also Emerald Bird, another card that has a very good effect when sent to the graveyard by a card effect. Sometimes you also send Zephyros Elite and Kaleido Chick on more desperate occasions where you bricked card destruction. This card is insane going against control decks, because sure, every single deck in today's day and age can get value by having cards in the graveyard, but when you're facing a danger deck, you don't want to see then resolving card destruction. I wouldn't let the opponent resolve card destruction if I knew he was playing a danger deck. So most likely people will Ash Blossom this card as soon as possible, and if you resolve this, you're going to discard a bunch of cards, trigger a bunch of effects, have a bunch of cards in the graveyard, and draw even more cards. So it's very, very powerful, resolving card destruction, and won't certainly dance as a trap just because of its graveyard effect to special summon monster. Also the fact that it sends as a cost. Actually, it doesn't send as a cost, it sends as an effect. You send a monster from your hand to the graveyard as an effect. A lot of times this is also very relevant to make the card even better. For the extra deck, one Leo Dancer and one Thunder Dancer. I like the other Lunalight fusion monsters, but this build was very based on the Raphael Nevin build that won on OICS. And I like the other fusions. Sometimes they can be decent, but most of the times you just summon Leo Dancer anyways. So you're just wasting extra deck spots. And Leo Dancer essentially makes every single other Lunalight fusion relevant. So you just want to cheat the summoning condition of these, of Leo Dancer, and when you summon these, you win. It's just that simple. And Panther Dance is just to send to the graveyard with Calamity. One Nightmare Mermaid, one Nightmare Phoenix. Very, very good cards, as I said before. Mostly to get extra bodies and to discard Zephyros, one the Rumadol, extra removal going second, also can help you triggering Tiger, under Clock Taker to reduce the attack, to essentially finish the OTK with Leo Dancer. Having those two cards in the board is OTK. One Curious, I love Curious, it's one of my favorite Link monsters of all time, if not my favorite. I undecided between Curious or Summon Sources. But Curious helps you transform into hands where you open a bunch of danger monsters, which is generally bad contrary to popular belief. When you open a bunch of danger monsters, it's not good because unless you draw something extremely crazy with the danger monsters, most likely you're going to have a bunch of random ass vanilla monsters on the field. So even more so when a lot of matches that I lost were because I drew into 3 dangers. So 3 or more dangers. A lot of times when I lost was because I drew into too many dangers. Sure, you want to see dangers in your deck, but you don't want to see too many. So when you see too many, you just summon Curious and Perfume. This card has a lot of applications actually, not even that, but I feel the most notorious application for Curious is when you open too many dangers and then this card just sends Perfume or Serenade Dance and give you access to your Lunalights. One Appaloosa, very insane card. Essentially the plan B if the opponent makes you go first. As I said before, you just summon a Nightmare monster with Mermaid, get a free body, and then summon Zephyros and another monster reviving with Tiger. And then you just have a free Appaloosa with 4 negates. And an extra rank 4. I will show in the combo video later. One Force Tricks to search Zephyros, Tiger King, extremely good. It's a skilled rank going second, and also search Stanky, extremely good card. Redur, it detaches as an effect, not as a cost, and the 3 effects of Redur are pretty good, at least I feel so. One Tornado Dragon, it's a better version of Nightmare Phoenix and also helps you triggering Tiger if needed. Abyss Dweller, again, I regret playing Abyss Dweller because I played Battleship in this deck. Because I should have played another Dark Rank 4 monster. I knew that going in this tournament, but I still opted to play Abyss Dweller and now I regret it. I should have just played the second Dark Rank 4 monster to go with Redur, probably something like Kind Gorgon. I regret playing Abyss Dweller, it really underperformed. But yeah. And finally, one Yarla and Azathoth. This package is so good. No one is going to negate Danger Mothman or Danger Jackalope when discarded. You shouldn't do it, by the way. And because of that, you just normal summon guy. This won't trigger a chain, and then you summon Yarla. This won't trigger a chain because it's an inherent special summon. And so you just summon Azathoth. So as long as you are able to get 2 bodies on the field, 2 level 4 bodies on the field, you summon Azathoth and then shuts down combo decks. I face 2 Pendulum decks, and this card was very important against Pendulum because you can laugh at Pendulums because of memes, but Pendulums make more negates than any other deck in the game. So Azathoth is incredible against that deck because no one is going to negate Danger Mothman, and again, you shouldn't. It's a waste of our negate. So Azathoth just surprised a lot of people. I really happy that I played this package. I won't take this package, it's so good. For side deck, trips, I frame gear gamma. Insane card, it's so good. I even sided this card going first because if I wasn't able to perform a combo, at the very least I had Gamma, which is a very powerful card by itself. It negates and destroy. It's so good. Gamma, I think that Gamma should see more play. Sometimes I hate Gamma because of driver, but when you pile shuffle, which normally I don't, but because it was original, I did a lot of pile shuffles, essentially every single game. Because of that, I didn't saw driver any of my hands, but generally I see driver so many times. But overall, it's a very good package. Chugo Solgrim, insane card. Sometimes on some formats this card is garbage, some formats this card is absolutely crazy. This is one of those formats where this card is, it's so powerful, it's so good. You resolve this against a lot of decks and they have no way to recover against Ghost Ogre. It's one of the most powerful hand traps in this format. So I really like playing Ghost Ogre in this deck. Really helped me out. 3 draw unlock bird, it's just a free win condition. I never saw it. I only sided against Cyber Dragons and I didn't saw it, but it's one of the most crazy hand traps in the game. It's a hand trap that's a floodgate, it's so degenerative. It shouldn't be in the game, why this card is allowed, but I just play it because it's overpowered, that's it. It's just a free win, you resolve this card and you win. That's the only reason why I'm playing the card. I know it's degenerative, but it's free win, so why not? 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, I didn't want to discard with Twin Twister, I already have a lot of cards that discard. And overall I just felt that Mystical Space Typhoon was better for what I want to perform. I don't know, Twin Twister is decent, but I just prefer Mystical Space Typhoon. I feel it's a more safe approach to spell trap removal. And finally, 3 red reboot, the same as Draw Unlock Bird. You just resolve this card, you instantly win for no reason whatsoever. It's very unlikely when you resolve Draw Unlock Bird or red reboot and you lose. It's extremely rare. Those cards are so degenerative. Why we have hand traps that are floodgates is beyond me. Those cards don't deserve to exist whatsoever. Ban Draw Unlock Bird, ban red reboot, ban Maxi again if needed, you know, fuck Maxi, ban Artifact Lance as well. We don't need those cards in the game, they are so degenerative, they are just free wins. Everyone plays them because they are free wins, and I'm playing them as well just because it doesn't take any skill. And why put thought into the game when we have cards like those that instantly win the game? But that's it for my deck profile. I'm really happy that I chose to play Lunalight. I'm very happy that I did so well playing this deck because it's a deck that I really liked. Again, it's a deck that has a very high ceiling and it's a very fun combo deck. I recommend to you if you never played this deck. It can be hard to play somewhat. Lunalights have something that a lot of combo decks recently lack, which is they have a very linear gameplay, which is summon Leo Dancer going second or Apollousa going first, but they do this with a lot of different cards. A lot of cards are interchangeable. It's very similar to one of my favorite decks, which was the Fairytale Snow build of Thunder Dragons. I really like that build, but it got hit by the balance because you had a very linear game plan, which was to send Fairytale Snow to the graveyard, but you had so many different ways to do so, and all the hands were very hard to it was a very hard deck to master, and I feel this deck is one of those, but it's very rewarding. When you know what you're doing with this deck, you feel that you are unstoppable. You feel that you have a deck that can do anything in the game whenever you want. You have such a good control through your main deck and extra deck and your resources overall that you essentially can do whatever you want whenever you need. And I really like this about this deck. I really like the Lunalights. I think that a lot of people underestimate this deck. Even more to go second version, but overall, thank you for watching and bye bye.